Okay. There's a bit of wisdom that says before you have children, you should start out with a pet. It is very wise. And it's also wise because even when you do have children, they don't come with a manual, and you can refer back to your pet stories and figure things out. So I got married way too young, way too stupid, and I needed a dog, of course. So the guy I married had two giant Oscar fishes. They're called Manny and Mo, and they were named after the Pep Boys. So when I didn't name them, I just need you to know that. So of course, when it was time to name our puppy, you can guess what its name was gonna be. Yes. This is a very smart crowd. So we had Manny, Mo, and Jack for a time, and then we moved to Florida, and the fish had to find a new home. So we took Jack cross country, and we would stop like every half hour so he could go pee, only he didn't pee. And we would just sit in the median waiting for him to pee. And so we take him immediately to the vet when we get to Jacksonville, Florida, from NAS Lemoore, California. And the vet says they kind of go in this hibernation mode where they don't really need to eat or pee. I'm like, that would have been helpful to know before this cross-country trip. So then my spouse at the time went on a Navy cruise for 6 months. I didn't know how to raise a child or a dog. So I cowered in fear many a night under the crocheted blanket because it had little peepholes as the dog ran around and around the couch. And it came to a culmination when I fixed myself a lovely hot dog meal with the bun, ketchup on the hot dog, and I leave to get a beverage, and I come back, and the bun is still there, but the hot dog is gone because Jack knew if he had eaten the whole thing, I would know who had done it. But this way, there was a question. So that was my time with Jack. And he ate, there was a lot of geese at the apartment complex, and he loved to eat really gross stuff. And just let it be known, me and Jack weren't great friends. You know, I was the one that wanted the dog, but it wasn't a happy relationship. So then we got an assignment to move to Washington, D.C. in a high-rise. And the high-rise did not accept dogs. We could take the cat we had, but not the dog. And you might have guessed I was really heartbroken. So we take the dog to a vet, and I got to see a side of my spouse that I hadn't seen before. He drops off the dog and comes back to the car sobbing. And it was really an interesting feeling because it was at one part, you know, the indifference in a young marriage when you shouldn't have gotten married, and yet you can see the true devotion and compassion and what a great guy he is, except he's just not the guy for me. So it was really an interesting paradox. So we go to DC without the dog, and there were two other dogs, not success stories either. A large golden that my daughter wanted. They poop a lot, and he was really big and really strong. And Skipperkey, which is a tailless Belgian guard dog that barks a lot and sheds a lot. And it was my husband's turn to name the pet. And he was a sports fanatic, especially hockey, and he picked Gretzky. And it was a girl dog. So, oh well. So, and then came Ginny. By that time we had two daughters, and even though they didn't come with a manual, I did pretty good. I had some college elementary education under my belt, but even still I messed up a lot with them. So it was Ellie's turn to get a dog, and it was part of an oops litter. A poodle and Jack Russell mix. And my husband would never let me get a wussy dog, as he called it, but Ellie was able to. And it was her turn. Part of the beauty of having a child, a book, anything like that, you get to name it, and it's all about the name. So she was in her Harry Potter phase, so her little dog was Ginny. And she tried to and wanted to be the one that got up during the night and took the dog out, but it ended up being my pleasure and joy, and it really was. By that time, in a marriage where we don't really talk, kids busy with their lives, and that puppy that just loves you is incredible. So I had Ginny and I trained her, and she also taught me the lesson of being yourself. Because I admired my sister-in-law who had a dog that never had to be leashed. I admired my neighbor Tom, who took me to the dog park and had 2 huge Weimers that didn't need to be on a leash. And I wanted that kind of dog. So I had Ginny, and I was in bare feet, and there was snow. We were in Wisconsin, and I tried to do that. And it worked great for a while, till that morning, and she took off. So after that, I put Ginny on a leash, because that's who I was. And the beauty of a dog is they let you be who you are. Thank you. Thanks.